Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. A very good evening to our beloved lecturer, Dr. Zamri. We are from Group 1 and today we're going to present about yogurt versus cultured milk. So first and foremost, let me introduce our group members.
So I'm going to start first. My name is Cik Dani Azimi bin Chin Arman and my matric number is 212339.
Hello everyone, and my name is Nur Suhaida binti Marizali. My matric number is 210629.
Hello everyone, I'm Siti Roshaya binti Zambi and my matrix number 1211660.
Hello everyone, my name is Nurul Nadira binti Uzaidi and my matrix number is 212050.
All right, so in this presentation, there's three aspects that we're going to touch on. The first one is the process, how are they made? Second one is the differences between products, how are these two products are different? And the third one is the quality parameters of the product, what qualities are sought in these products. So we're going to go to the first one, the process. So the first one is the process of making, what is yogurt and cultured milk, how they were made, and this one I will pass to Chidin.
Okay, thank you, Sahida. Okay, next. Okay, Sahida, you can next the slide. Okay, yogurt. What is yogurt? So yogurt is acidified milk. It is milk that has turned sour through lactic acid fermentation, but in a very controlled manner through adding bacteria. The only necessary ingredients for making yogurt are milk and those bacteria. The bacteria do all the work for you. That said, there are a lot of different types of yogurt through variation in the processing steps, type of milk or type of bacteria. And how to process yogurt? In order to manufacture yogurt, bacteria that can convert lactose, the sugar found in the milk, into lactic acid must be selected. So the culture of Streptococcus thermophilus and Lactobacillus delbrueckii and also Subs bulgaricus are the two most regularly employed species in the food preparations. It is because of this chemical that that these two microbacteria are frequently utilized together. They assist one another by creating chemicals that the other bacteria requires for proliferations. Okay, next. So basically, this is a picture of the yogurt processing, and you can see the step here at the right. But for more specific, we can go to the next slide. So the first step in producing yogurt is adjust milk composition and blend ingredients. So milk composition may be adjusted to achieve the desired fat and solids content. Often dry milk is added to increase the amount of whey protein to provide a desirable texture. Ingredients such as stabilizer are added this time. Second step is to pasteurize the milk. The milk mixture is pasteurized for 30 minutes at 185 Fahrenheit or 10 minutes at 203 Fahrenheit. The whey or serum proteins are denatured by the high heat. This helps the protein form a gel that keeps the water from separating during storage. The high treatment also reduces the number of spoilage organisms in the milk, allowing the starter cultures to grow better. Pasteurizing yogurt before adding starter cultures ensure that the cultures remain active after fermentation to act as probiotics. Pasteurizing yogurt after fermentation inactivates the cultures. And next, to homogenize. After pasteurization of milk, the blend is homogenized at 2000 to 2500 psi to mix all the ingredients truly and to improve the consistency of the yogurt. After that, the milk is cooled to 100 Fahrenheit or at 42 degrees Celsius to bring the yogurt to the ideal growth temperature for the starter culture. The fifth step is to inoculate with the starter cultures. The starter cultures are now mixed into the cold milk. Next, to hold. The milk then held at 108 Fahrenheit or 42 degrees Celsius until it reaches 4.5 in pH. This now allows the fermentation to progress and form a soft gel and the characteristic flavor of the yogurt. This process usually takes several hours before done. And next is to cool. After that, the yogurt is cooled to 7 degrees Celsius to stop the fermentation process. And then we can add the fruit and also the flavor. Fruit and flavor can be added at different steps depending the type of the yogurt. For set style yogurt, the fruit is added in the bottom of the cup and then inoculate yogurt is poured on the top and the yogurt is fermented in the cup. But for Swiss style yogurt, the fruit will be blended with the fermented cold yogurt prior to packaging. Last but not least is the packaging. So lastly, the yogurt is pumped from the fermentation vat and being packaged into various shapes and design as desired. That's all for the process of producing the yogurts. And next we go to the culture milk. So basically, what is culture milk? Culture milk is the product resulting from the souring of skim or partially skim milk by the addition of a culture of lactic acid bacteria. So how to process culture milk? So the fermentation process is the first step in the production of culture milk. It is used to extend the shelf life of milk products and improve their flavor and digestibility. Fermented fresh dairy milk contains strains of leaf probiotic cultures such as Lactobacillus paracasi, which is contained in Meiji Pigeon culture milk. Okay, for the explanation for the process of culture milk, I will pass to Suhaida.
All right, thank you, Daniel. Okay, so next, for the cultured milk process, you can refer to this diagram, but there's also a short-listed one that I have. This is the explanation for the process of cultured milk. Basically, the process of cultured milk is basically nearly the same as the yogurt. It's just the consistency and also the types of culture used in the production that is different. So I have this diagram over here. This diagram is the summary of this process. Okay, so for the process of cultured milk, however, this is for the UHT. So the UHT one, the first one is the milk receiving. During the milk receiving, we will have a QC inspection. We will do the alcohol test to see if the milk is suitable for usage, or we're gonna do pH test, and then we're gonna check the water content, the fat content, the protein content during this process. And then once the milk is acceptable, we can process the milk. During this process, we're gonna do the mixing. In this process also, we're going to add some stabilizer to make sure that the milk is stable enough during the UHT process. And there's also filter and also QC inspection. During this QC inspection, just to make sure that the fat and also the protein is according to the specs needed. All right. So next, we're going to pasteurize the milk at 120 degrees for 4 seconds. This is the holding time. And then we're going to store it right away in a jacketed tank. During this process, after the milk has been kept in the jacketed tank, the chiller and the agitator needs to be switched off. Next, we need to put in the culture. In this culture, usually we will use lactobacillus. And then in this process, usually we will let the milk to the culture to ferment the milk in 6 to 12 hours. This is why we need to switch off the chiller and agitator first. Right after the milk is pasteurized. This is to ensure that the culture had an ambient environment for it to grow. So once the culture has grown, it has eaten the fat and all, the protein, then the pH will drop. So after the pH will drop, we need to switch on the chiller and agitator. This is to stop the process, not to stop, to slow down the process in order to make sure that the pH doesn't come any lower than what we wanted. Next, we need to meet, at this time, during the put in culture, we need to make sure that the sugar and pectin is mixed together to make the syrup. So right after the pH required is achieved, we need to mix the syrup together with the fermented milk. So right after the syrup has been mixed with the milk, we need to instantly cool down it to 4 degrees Celsius. This is where we need to add in any flavors if you want, the strawberry, mango, mixed berries, or any flavors that you like. And then there are also QC inspection. The aspect that is important here is the sensory. We need to make sure that the sensory pass for us to proceed for the production. So once the sensory pass, we need to keep the milk chill and ready for production. Next, after that, we can start the UHT process. This VTIS is actually the name, one of the Tetra Pak machine name, and UHT is UHT, ultra high temperature machine. So this one, we're gonna pasteurize the milk at 135 degrees Celsius for 4 seconds and immediately cooling it to 10 degrees Celsius and store it in temporary holding tank before production. Okay. So the tank will hold the pasteurized milk. So right after that, we're gonna start with the filling. So the filling, usually for the UHT, the packaging is called as commercially aseptic package, meaning once it's filled, nothing can go, meaning the package is aseptic, meaning there's no microbes and all. And this is where there is also QC inspection, the packaging, and also sensory. Right after that, we're going to incubate for 7 days or a certain period of time. We're going to have QC inspection during this period. whether to see if this product can be released or not. The inspection involves the sensory, shelf life, and also microbes. Next is to deliver it to the customers. That's it for the process of cultured milk. So next, we're going to the differences between products. I'm going to pass it to Shahira.
Thank you, Suhaida. So I'm now want to present about differences between yogurt and cultured milk. So actually, I got 5 differences. So the first one is yogurt is a semi-solid food, while cultured milk is a beverage. And second, yogurt actually made from milk, but cultured milk made from milk or a water-based liquid. And the third one has a thick consistency and is eaten with a spoon, while cultured milk has a thin consistency and can drink. And fourth, yogurt contain less probiotic cultures than cultured milk, while cultured milk typically contain 3 times the amount of probiotic cultures than yogurt. And this last one, yogurt produced by using a bacteria known as yogurt culture, but cultured milk produced by using lactic acid bacteria. So that's all. I will pass to Nadia to explain about quality parameter of products.
So I'm going to explain about the quality parameter of the products. What are the quality in yogurt and cultured milk? So I'm going to explain about the quality parameter of product in the yogurt. So first, the pH and the acidity is for yogurt is usually between 4.3 and 4.4. But during the fermentation, the lactose, which is the milk, the form to lactic acid, and the pH value will decrease, which is from 4.3 between 4.3 and 4.4, and it will change to 4.25 to 4.5. So the fat content in the yogurt is from 0.4 to 3.3%, from non-fat yogurt to full fat yogurt. And in the yogurt is 20%. The lactose content is 0.5%, which is 5 grams per 1 portion, and the viscosity in the yogurt is 1.3, between 1.8 until 3.8, and the sugar added 0.31%. But usually yogurt is sugar free, but some of the yogurt that has the flavor like strawberry, mango, so they had the sugar added, which is the sugar added is 1.08 until 1.31%. That's all from me. Next, I will pass it to Ida.
Okay, thank you so much, Nadira. Okay, so for the cultured milk, so first and foremost is the pH and acidity of the cultured milk. Usually it will range in 3.75 to 4.5. The lower the storage, the lower the pH would be. So usually we will the producer will the manufacturers will sell it as soon as possible to prevent from the taste becomes not like we wanted. And then the fat content is 1.0 to 2.5%, but usually for cultured meat, most of them are low fat. And next is the protein content is 4.5 to 6%. The protein in the cultured milk comes from the milk itself. So the lactose content in cultured milk is 3.5 to 4.5%. The viscosity for the cultured milk is 6.0 to 10 cp. Usually, it's not too thick. It's not too thin. This viscosity, the range of 6.0 to 10 is actually a nice, so that it has a nice mouthfeel in your mouth right after you drink it. So the sugar added in the cultured milk is 5 to 16%. If in the yogurt, there's not much sugar added. However, in the cultured milk, there's a lot of sugar added to create the syrup so that it is drinkable. And I think that is all from us. Wait. Thank you.